Most mechanics refuse to drive newer cars, and there's a brutal reason why. Modern engines don't fail less, but they do fail expensively. Software-locked parts, fragile sensors, and dealer-only repairs can turn a $40 fix into a $1,400 bill overnight. Mechanics already saw this shift coming, and they know exactly which model years still hit the sweet spot of real reliability. In this video, you'll learn the 10 rules real mechanics follow, and the one bonus rule that could save you thousands before your next repair. Number 10. The Reliability Plateau. There's a reason most cars that make it past 150,000 miles keep going for years. By that point, every early defect has already shown itself. What's left are the survivors, engines and transmissions that proved their strength in real-world conditions, not just in marketing brochures. Mechanics see this every day. The cars that reach 10 years without major issues often go another 10 with routine care. Modern vehicles might look tougher on paper, but they hide complexity that doesn't reveal itself until it fails. Direct injection carbon buildup, turbo seals, electronic lifters, or timing chain tensioners buried behind the engine. When these go, the bill can match the car's value. The difference? A 2010-era vehicle that's already crossed the reliability plateau is predictable. Mechanics know its weak spots, parts are cheap, and failures follow a pattern. You're not gambling on unknown tech. You're investing in proven endurance. And that reliability plateau connects directly to the next secret mechanics understand, the technology curve. Number 9. Depreciation is dead weight. You know that new car smell? It costs about 10 grand. The moment you drive off the lot, thousands disappear, long before anything breaks. In the US, the average new car loses nearly half its value within 5 years. But after year 10, that free fall stops. That's the moment mechanics look for. When reliability stays high but depreciation flattens out. A 2010 sedan that sold new for $30,000 might sell today for around $7,000, and it'll probably still run another 100,000 miles. That's value modern buyers overlook because they're chasing touchscreens and warranty stickers instead of proven engines. According to industry data, the cheapest miles you'll ever drive are between years 10 and 15. When the car's already proven itself and every future repair costs less than the payments you've escaped. Mechanics know, you don't lose money on repairs, you lose it on depreciation. Number 8. Not too much tech. There's a fine line between helpful tech and expensive tech. Cars built around 2010 sit right on that line. They have Bluetooth, USB ports, cruise control, and solid safety systems. Everything most drivers actually use. But they stop short of the fragile digital ecosystems that turn dashboards into computer screens. Back then, climate control were knobs, not software. Parking sensors were optional, not radar networks tied to the braking system. Mechanics love that era because it's the last one where features improved convenience without creating failure points. Today, a single touchscreen glitch can disable climate, audio, and safety alerts, turning a $50 fix into a $2,000 parts order and a dealer appointment. Mechanics don't hate technology. They just know when it stopped serving the driver and started serving the manufacturer. That sweet spot of technology also created another advantage, an explosion of affordable parts. Number 7. Parts are cheap and everywhere. Once a model's been on the road for a decade or more, the aftermarket catches up. Every common failure point has a replacement waiting on a shelf somewhere, often for a fraction of dealer prices. Need an alternator for a 2010 Accord? Around $150 online, installed in an hour. The same job in a 2023 model? Closer to $600 plus programming. When millions of the same engines and transmissions are out there, supply drives prices down. And mechanics know exactly which brands of parts hold up best. This is also when you can buy remanufactured or OEM equivalent components that perform just as well as factory parts, without the markup. It's not just cheaper, it's simpler. No proprietary connectors, no VIN-locked modules, just bolts, gaskets, and real tools. And when you combine that predictability with another thing most drivers never factor in, the repair patterns mechanics have memorized, ownership suddenly becomes stress-free. Number 6. Mechanics know the weak points. When you've repaired hundreds of the same engines, patterns start to form. Mechanics know exactly which parts fail, when they fail, and how to prevent it. That's the hidden advantage of buying a 10 to 15-year-old car. Its entire repair history is already mapped. Every weak gasket, every worn mount, every stubborn sensor has been documented and solved 1,000 times. You're not paying for diagnostics or experimental troubleshooting. You're paying for certainty. Shops stock the right tools, the right parts, and even the right torque specs before the hood's open. With newer cars, every job feels like a prototype. There's software access to request, VIN-specific procedures to follow, and often no public repair data at all. That's why mechanics themselves choose models they know inside out, cars with predictable quirks and proven fixes. When maintenance becomes predictable, ownership becomes affordable, and the cars that reach this stage aren't just reliable, they're understood. Number 5, insurance drops, but safety stays high. Here's another benefit most people overlook. By the time a car hits 10 to 15 years old, the insurance cost often drops by 1/3 or more, but the safety barely changes. Since 2012, features like stability control, front and side airbags, and anti-lock brakes have been standard across nearly every model. Those systems made the biggest difference in accident survival, not the extra driver assist tech added later. Mechanics know that once those core systems arrived, safety gains started shrinking, while repair costs exploded. A cracked radar sensor in a modern bumper can total a new car. Meanwhile, a 2010 model with the same crash performance only needs a $200 bumper cover. The gap isn't safety, it's repair complexity. By avoiding today's high-value electronics, you avoid high-value insurance premiums. The car protects you just as well. It's just cheaper to fix afterward. And the savings don't stop there. Mechanics know there's another reason to ditch the new car mindset, one that completely changes how people handle money and maintenance. Number 4, freedom from monthly payments. Once the payments stop, everything changes. You stop driving with a calculator in your head. There's no monthly reminder hanging over every rattle or check engine light. And that shift, from paying off a loan to simply maintaining a machine, is exactly what mechanics understand best. A $600 car payment isn't transportation, it's a quiet drain. Over 7 years, that's more than $50,000 gone, not counting higher insurance, interest, and depreciation. Mechanics know that same money could keep a well-chosen 2010s car running perfectly for decades. Older cars reward attention instead of credit scores. Every oil change, every tire rotation, every small repair is a choice, not a bill. And because parts are affordable and labor is straightforward, your time and money go into upkeep, not paperwork. That's why most mechanics drive cars they own outright. They don't need the latest badge, they need freedom from payments. And that freedom buys something even more valuable: the discipline to maintain instead of replace. Number 3, new tech equals new bills. Freedom from payments doesn't mean freedom from costs, not if you buy into modern tech. Mechanics see it daily. Cars that should be simple fixes, sidelined by software. A dead battery used to cost $120. Now it can trigger a cascade of warning lights that require battery registration or dealer coding. A $300 to $500 job. Replace brake pads? Many cars now need a scan tool just to retract the electronic parking brake. Even a basic oil change can require system resets locked behind subscription software. These aren't rare cases, they're the new normal. Automakers have discovered how profitable complexity can be. The more software a car uses, the more it depends on authorized access, digital keys, and proprietary tools. It's not about reliability anymore, it's about control. Mechanics know exactly when that shift began, roughly 2013 to 2015, when features became firmware. That's why they buy right before that line. The last years when fixing your car didn't require factory permission. And that decision pays off again in another way. One that's just starting to matter in every state: repair rights and data access. Number 2, right to repair. There's another reason mechanics cling to older cars. They actually own them. Modern vehicles are turning into rolling software platforms, and that's where the fight over right to repair begins. Independent shops have been locked out of critical diagnostic data for years. Some 2020s models hide service procedures behind online logins, digital keys, or wireless updates that only the manufacturer controls. That means even routine maintenance can require dealer authorization or a costly subscription just to clear a warning light. Older cars don't play that game. A 2010 model can be scanned, repaired, and tested by anyone with a $60 tool and basic know-how. Mechanics prefer that era because independence still existed. They could diagnose, rebuild, and restore without corporate gatekeeping. Several US states are now expanding right to repair laws, but enforcement takes time. Mechanics already know the workaround. Own vehicles built before the software leash tightened. That way, when something fails, the solution is in your hands, not locked in a server. And when you pair that independence with everything you've seen so far, lower costs, simpler systems, and full control, you arrive at the final truth every mechanic understands. Number 1. The sweet spot: mechanical honesty. Every mechanic eventually reaches the same conclusion. The best cars weren't the newest ones. They were the last ones built to be machines, not gadgets. Around 2010, most automakers hit a balance they haven't matched since. Engines were efficient but not over-engineered. Safety tech was proven but not overlinked. Parts were plentiful, repairs were straightforward, and ownership still meant control. It was the final moment when cars were refined, not restricted. That's the sweet spot they all talk about, roughly 10 to 15 years old today. A window where vehicles are modern enough to be safe and comfortable, yet old enough to be free from digital dependency. Mechanics drive these cars because they know what happens after that line. When maintenance turns into management, when repairs require passwords, and when reliability becomes a subscription. So they buy the last generation of honest machines and keep them running indefinitely. Because to a mechanic, the goal isn't to have the newest car. It's to have the last car you'll ever need. The mechanic's rule of 5. There's one rule every experienced mechanic quietly follows. It's called the Rule of 5. For every dollar spent on prevention, you save 5 in repairs. That means a $90 oil change prevents a $450 timing issue. A $150 coolant service avoids a $700 water pump failure. Replace a worn belt today, and you'll never pay for a tow tomorrow. The difference between drivers who keep cars for 20 years and those who trade every 5 isn't luck. It's maintenance discipline. Mechanics don't wait for problems. They eliminate them before they start. That's why their decade-old cars still run quietly, stay smooth, and rarely break down. Owning a car from the sweet spot era only pays off if you treat it like they do, as something you care for, not just use. Because when you keep up with the small stuff, the big problems never arrive. And that brings us to the final takeaway. The simple reason every mechanic's driveway looks exactly the same. Look at any mechanic's driveway and you'll see the same pattern. Clean, well-kept cars from the early 2010s. Not because they can't afford new ones, but because they know better. They've watched what happened after that golden era. Rising complexity, higher repair bills, software barriers, and disappearing repairability. The cars from 2008 to 2012 hit a rare balance. Safe, comfortable, efficient, and built to last. They represent the moment when engineering still served the driver, not the dealership. Mechanics drive those cars because they've seen what breaks, what lasts, and what makes sense. They buy value after depreciation, reliability after refinement, and simplicity after excess. That's the mindset worth copying. Not brand loyalty or nostalgia, but informed independence. The best car isn't the newest one on the lot. It's the one you can maintain, understand, and trust for another decade.